Earth is home to incredibly beautiful good sights. From the majestic mountains to lush forests and the pyramids of Giza, there are plenty of breathtaking places that make our planet a truly unique and magical place. But because of climate change and our own carelessness, some of them are in danger of disappearing in the next 100 years, or even sooner. From the islands where Darwin discovered evolution to the ancient city of Venice, here are 15 places that could vanish from the face of Earth. If you want to see them, it's better to visit them soon before they're gone forever. Let's start off with number 15, the Galapagos Islands. Charles Darwin once called the Galapagos Islands a little world within itself, and it's easy to see why. It's where he discovered evolution, and it is perhaps the most unique place on Earth. With around 2,000 endemic species, including the famous Galapagos tortoise, marine iguanas, and blue-footed boobies, all bolstered by a lack of natural beasts, the Galapagos Islands have become one of the best places in the world to view wild animals. Each island has its own unique ecosystem, shaped over millions of years. But despite their remoteness, the Galapagos are under serious threat. A booming tourism industry, with 200,000 visitors per year, is disrupting fragile habitats. Rising ocean temperatures and overfishing are putting marine life at risk, while invasive species are wreaking havoc on native plants and animals. A 2017 study by the Charles Darwin Foundation found that 1,579 invasive species had taken hold, 98% arriving since the 1970s. To counteract the damage, conservationists are reintroducing native iguanas and enforcing stricter ecotourism laws. But even if the Galapagos survive, they may never look the same again. Number 14, the Amazon rainforest. The world is going to pay the biggest price one day. The Amazon rainforest is often called the lungs of the world because it produces 20% of the planet's oxygen. But right now, those lungs are shrinking at an alarming rate. Over the past 50 years, Brazil has incentivized deforestation, leading to massive swaths of rainforest being cleared for logging, cattle ranching, and soy farms. Since 2020, deforestation has skyrocketed by 92%, and forest fires, both natural and man-made, are making things even worse. With every acre lost, countless species vanish, many of which haven't even been discovered yet. If something isn't done, scientists warn that the Amazon could be gone within a few generations, with devastating consequences for the global climate. Conservationists are pushing for sustainable tourism and stronger protection laws, but time is running out. If the Amazon falls, the world will feel the impact for centuries. We'll just pray that it stays there for another 100 years. I didn't even see the green python. Number 13, the Maldives. The Maldives is on track to become the first country to disappear due to climate change. Most of its islands, including the capital Malé, sit just 3.5 feet above sea level, and rising ocean waters are expected to submerge them by the end of the century. With 520,000 residents, nearly 142,000 of whom live in Malé, the nation is racing against time. In response, the government is building Hulhu Malé, an artificial island elevated slightly above sea level, designed to house a large portion of the population in high-rise developments. But even if relocation succeeds, the Maldives as it exists today, its culture, traditions, and way of life, will be irreversibly changed. Famous for pristine beaches, luxury resorts, and vibrant marine life, the Maldives remains a top travel destination. But its future is uncertain, and unless drastic climate action is taken, this paradise may soon exist only in history books. Number 12, the Swiss Alps. Glaciers in the Swiss Alps are disappearing at an unprecedented rate. Between 1931 and 2016, the glaciers lost 50% of their total volume, with another 12% vanishing between 2016 and 2017-2021 alone. Switzerland's temperature rise, nearly 2 degrees Celsius, twice the global average, is accelerating the process. Within the next 30 years, half of Switzerland's 1,500 glaciers are expected to melt completely. This includes the Aletsch Glacier, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Switzerland's largest glacier. Beyond their beauty, these glaciers provide vital fresh water, holding enough clean water to sustain Switzerland's population for 60 years. Their loss would also devastate the country's tourism industry, particularly world-renowned ski resorts that rely on consistent snowfall. As the ice disappears, rock slides and flooding will become more frequent, altering landscapes permanently. If current warming trends continue, the Swiss Alps may soon look very different from the iconic winter wonderland they are today. Number 11. Majuli Island, India. Majuli Island, the largest river island in the world, sits in the Brahmaputra River in Assam, India. Beyond its unique geography, Majuli is a cultural hub, home to ancient monasteries, traditional Assamese art, and the Ras Festival, which celebrates Lord Krishna's Ras Leela through elaborate plays, pottery, and boat-making traditions. The island is also a haven for migratory birds and endangered species, making it a vital ecological hotspot. But Majuli is disappearing. Since the early 20th century, 40% of the island has already eroded, and experts predict that within 15 to 20 years, it could be completely submerged. Frequent flooding from the Brahmaputra River is washing away the soil, making it impossible for the land to hold its shape. Conservationists and engineers are working on erosion control efforts, but if nothing changes, Majuli's culture, history, and biodiversity could vanish forever, making it one of the fastest disappearing landscapes on Earth. Number 10. The Great Barrier Reef. Stretching 1,429 miles, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest living structure on Earth. A vibrant underwater world filled with 600 types of coral, 1,600 species of fish, and thousands of marine creatures. It's a diver's paradise, home to everything from colorful clownfish to majestic manta rays. But this breathtaking ecosystem is on the brink of collapse. Since 2016, 3 extreme coral bleaching events have devastated the reef, wiping out massive portions of coral. Warmer ocean temperatures are stressing corals, causing them to lose their color and die. Between 2009 and 2019, 14% of the world's coral vanished, and if global temperatures rise just 1.5 degrees Celsius, up to 90% of the world's coral could die, including most of the Great Barrier Reef. Efforts to protect the reef are underway, but without immediate global action on climate change, this natural wonder could become a barren underwater graveyard in the near future. Number 9. The Congo Basin. The Congo Basin is the world's second-largest rainforest, covering 500 million acres across 6 countries in Central Africa. It's a biological gold mine, home to over 10,000 species of plants, rare animals like mountain gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and forest elephants, and communities that have lived in harmony with the forest for generations. But this vital ecosystem is rapidly disappearing. While the world focused on the Amazon wildfires in 2019, more fires burned in Central Africa, wiping out large portions of the Congo Basin. Between 2001 and 2018, the Republic of Congo lost 77% of its untouched forests, and scientists predict that by 2100, the rainforest could be gone. The consequences would be devastating, not only for the wildlife that depends on it, but for the entire planet. The Congo Basin absorbs over 1 billion tons of CO2 every year. If deforestation continues, the loss of this rainforest could accelerate climate change at an irreversible pace. Number 8. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. The Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat, covering 4,000 square miles in Bolivia. This surreal landscape was created when a prehistoric lake evaporated, leaving behind a thick crust of brilliant white salt. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water transforms the flats into a massive mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky and creating the illusion of walking through clouds. But Salar de Uyuni is more than just a natural wonder. It holds nearly 50% of the world's lithium reserves, a metal essential for smartphone batteries, electric cars, and other modern technologies. As the demand for lithium skyrockets, Bolivia is expanding mining operations in the salt flats, risking permanent damage to this fragile ecosystem. If lithium extraction continues unchecked, Salar de Uyuni could lose its pristine beauty, becoming yet another casualty of human exploitation. What was once an untouched landscape could soon be reduced to nothing more than an industrial resource. Number 7. The Dead Sea. The Dead Sea, located between Israel, Jordan, and the West Bank, is the lowest exposed point on Earth and one of the saltiest bodies of water in the world. Its extreme salinity allows effortless floating, and its rich minerals have been prized for centuries. But today, this natural wonder is vanishing. The Dead Sea's water level drops by about 4 feet every year, and in just 50 years, it has lost a third of its surface area. The biggest cause? Freshwater sources that once fed the lake have been diverted for human consumption by Israel and Jordan, two water-scarce nations. Additionally, mineral extraction industries remove vast amounts of water to harvest the sea's valuable resources. As the Dead Sea shrinks, sinkholes are forming along its shores, making the surrounding land unstable. If water loss continues at its current pace, the Dead Sea could become a fraction of its former size, or disappear entirely. All right, guys, now let's move to Number 6. Glacier National Park. Few places in the U.S. rival the beauty of Glacier National Park. With jagged peaks, turquoise lakes, and over 700 miles of hiking trails, it's a paradise for wildlife lovers and adventure seekers. But the park's most defining feature, the glaciers, is disappearing at an alarming rate. Over the last 50 years, some glaciers have lost up to 80% of their ice, and scientists predict most will be gone within a few decades. Wildfires have also become more extreme, fueled by rising temperatures and drier conditions. The western U.S. has seen twice as much land burned since the 1980s, and Glacier National Park is now forced to prepare evacuation plans for visitors. The landscapes are still breathtaking, but they're changing fast. What visitors see today might not be what future generations will experience. For now, the glaciers remain, but they won't be here forever. We act when things get a bit out of control, and it's our nature. Number 5. Everglades National Park. The Everglades is one of the most unique wetlands in the world, home to the largest mangrove ecosystem in the Western Hemisphere and the biggest continuous stand of sawgrass prairie. It's a sanctuary for wading birds, alligators, manatees, and the elusive Florida panther, but its future is uncertain. More than half of the Everglades has already been lost due to urban development, agriculture, and industrial expansion. Water flow disruptions and pollution have further degraded what remains, placing the park on UNESCO's list of World Heritage in danger since 2010. Rising sea levels threaten to flood the ecosystem with salt water, killing off freshwater plants and disrupting the delicate balance that keeps the region alive. Restoration projects are underway, but progress is slow. If destruction continues, this vast biodiverse wetland could be lost forever, taking with it species found nowhere else on Earth. Number 4. Machu Picchu. Perched 8,000 feet above sea level in the Andes Mountains, Machu Picchu is one of the most breathtaking ancient sites in the world. Once an important Incan citadel, it remained hidden for centuries after the empire's fall. But today, this UNESCO World Heritage Site faces serious threats from both nature and tourism. Its steep location makes it vulnerable to landslides, erosion, and earthquakes, and increasing rainfall linked to climate change is further weakening the already fragile foundations. But one of the biggest concerns is over-tourism. Machu Picchu was built to house only a few hundred people, yet over 5,000 visitors arrive daily, wearing down pathways and damaging the ruins. Conservation efforts are in place, including limiting daily visitor numbers and rerouting tourist paths. But whether they'll be enough to preserve this wonder remains uncertain. If left unchecked, Machu Picchu's incredible history could crumble away, one step at a time. Number 3. Venice, Italy. Venice, often called the floating city, is slowly sinking. Built on wooden stilts and sandbanks, the city is subsiding at a rate of 1 to 2 millimeters per year, with projections suggesting it could be completely underwater by 2100. Rising sea levels and stronger storm surges have already wreaked havoc. In 2019, a record-breaking flood submerged San Marco Square in several feet of water, causing millions in damages. The Italian government has invested billions in the MOSE project, a system of underwater flood barriers designed to protect Venice, but experts warn that it may not be enough in the long run. Beyond the water, mass tourism is accelerating the city's decay. Cruise ships and overcrowding are eroding buildings and damaging fragile infrastructure. Without drastic action, Venice may not survive the next century, and its iconic canals could become nothing more than a memory. Number 2. Antarctica. Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and most remote continent on Earth, home to penguins, leopard seals, and orcas. But this vast icy wilderness is undergoing rapid change. The world's permanent ice caps are projected to shrink by nearly 25% by the end of the century, with the Antarctic Peninsula being hit the hardest. Rising global temperatures are causing glaciers to melt at alarming rates, contributing to rising sea levels and disrupting Antarctica's delicate ecosystem. As the ice retreats, it exposes dark rock and ocean, which absorb more heat, accelerating warming even further. The loss of ice shelves could alter global ocean currents, affecting weather patterns worldwide. Scientists warn that what's happening in Antarctica isn't just a local crisis, it's a global one. The frozen continent is changing fast, and if current trends continue, the Antarctica we know today may soon be unrecognizable. Number 1. The Great Wall of China. Stretching 13,000 miles, the Great Wall of China is one of the most impressive feats of engineering in human history. Built over centuries, it was meant to withstand armies and time itself. But now, time is winning. Less than 9% of the wall is in good condition, according to Smithsonian Magazine. The rest is slowly crumbling due to weather, erosion, and human activity. Tourists walking on fragile sections, locals stealing bricks for construction, and even graffiti artists leaving their mark have taken a toll. The Ming Dynasty portion, one of the most famous sections, is disappearing faster than conservationists can save it. Restoration efforts are in place, but protecting something this massive is a challenge. Without preservation, entire sections could be lost forever. Walking along the wall is like stepping through history, but in some places, that history is already turning to dust. Well, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.